For District Court Judge Department 30, which is Michael Davidson, Jerry Weiss, Patricia Trish Palm, and Craig Friedberg.
Yes, thank
Friedberg. We're going to go ahead and one of you is going to be judged. All four of you, the only four that have filed. So one of you is going to be judged. So if, Mike, if you want to get us started off.
Well, excuse me, can we get a bio from each of them before we begin?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. If each one of you could pick up the mic, state your name, and give us a bio on yourself.
I'm Mike Davidson. Lived here in Las Vegas for 30 years. I am currently the chief prosecutor in North Las Vegas. I spent 20 years in private practice doing a wide variety of practice, all civil litigation, criminal litigation. Spent 5 years as the assistant district attorney for Clark County. In that capacity, I was the chief civil trial lawyer for the county. Also ran the family support division, did all of the coroner's inquests, did all of the death penalty assessments, and have chosen for the last 10 years to devote myself to public service, running prosecution offices for Southern Nevada.
Hi, I'm Jerry Weiss. It's Weiss, not Weiss, but however you say it, as long as you mark the right box, I'm happy. I've lived in Vegas since I was 3 years old, last 40 years. I have been in private practice as a civil practitioner for the last 15 years. That's all I do is civil law, personal injury, medical malpractice, workers' comp, contracts. Those are the kind of things that our department will be doing. I have been a pro tem justice of the peace for probably 6 or 7 years. I've been an arbitrator with the court-appointed arbitration system for about the last 7 years. I've done over 150 arbitrations that way. Serve as an arbitrator and mediator. That's about it.
Thank you. I'm Trish Palm, and I am not a native Nevadan. I was born actually in Southern California. And when I was a kid, our family took all our vacations to Lake Mead and Lake Mojave because there were 8 kids in my family, so that was a good way to take a vacation and go camping out there. And I grew to love this area. I always wanted to come back. I lived in Southern California. I actually got my education in Minnesota at Hamlin Law School and came here after I graduated from Hamlin to Northern Nevada. I started out as a prosecutor with the city of Reno and went from there to the Nevada Supreme Court, where I advised the court on issues arising in the lower courts. So I've had a lot of experience being an objective evaluator and analyst, and I'm very familiar with the rules of law and rules of procedure. From that, I went from that job to the Attorney General's office, where I worked in litigation, defending state officers and agencies in lawsuits brought, and also advising hearings officers and board members during administrative hearings on the rules of evidence and the laws that pertain to them. I went from that to the district attorney's office for a little while as a prosecutor, and then went over to the public defender side and did that for the last 4 years. I actually went into private practice just in January because I decided I was going to run for this office, and I didn't want to have to do it on the government dime, because it's hard to give your 8 hours a day to government and really campaign as you should if you want to have a successful campaign. So currently I'm in private practice, and thank you for the opportunity to speak with everybody today.
Good morning, my name is Craig Friedberg, and first I want to thank you and Veterans in Politics for inviting me here to speak with you and your listeners and to seek your organization's endorsement. I am a father and husband, and my family and I have lived in Las Vegas for more than 20 years. I try to spend as much free time as I can in community service. I have been a Sunday school teacher for more than 10 years, primarily teaching ethics to young people. I enjoy my recumbent bike, and I've used that activity to raise money to fight MS. I try to help out Nevada high school and college students by volunteering for the mock trial competitions. In fact, this afternoon I'm be helping out at the Nevada High School Southern Regional Mock Trial Competition. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you get any of that? Yes. Oh, okay. I'm running for this position because I have a strong passion for justice and to see that justice is done. And I feel that this judicial career will give me the opportunity to demonstrate that the judicial system can work and that all people have rights and can get a fair hearing. And certainly that's what I'm going to do. I want everyone that walks out of my courtroom to feel like they've had the opportunity to be heard. Also, as new judges, I know that our dockets are going to be filled up with the cases from other departments, and I plan on doing what I can right away to clear those cases as much as possible by bringing in the parties and the attorneys to see whether there's common ground to resolve the case instead of just letting it go on forever. Lastly, I want to bring some innovative ideas to allow the court system to work better, to manage the calendars better, and also to make going to court, especially with pretrial matters, because that's where most people in a civil court are going to go. Very few cases actually end up in trial. Less expensive and less time consuming, and I hope that this morning I'll have a chance to go into a little more detail about that.
Yes, my name is Mike Mazer, and I have a question for the entire panel candidates. Why do you want to hold this position, and what do you see as the greatest challenges facing the district court system right now when you take office?
Mike Davidson, thank you. In a real sense, I have been training for this job for the last 30 years. I think that this is the position where I can best continue to contribute to this community in which I am deeply invested, and to the legal profession. I think that if you check resumes, and you should do that, compare the resumes of all the people sitting at this dais, you will find that I am the one person at this table who has achieved the highest legal rating that any attorney can achieve on a national rating service. That's the AV rating. I think you will find that there is nobody here who has the depth and breadth of experience that I do, and after all, being a judge is about exercising judgment. When you have a veteran, shall we say, who appears before you, and they do in our courts on a regular basis, you need to know who the good guys are and who the bad guys are. You need to know who deserves a break and who doesn't. I'm probably the only one sitting at this dais who's actually spent time in front of juries in both civil and criminal felony cases. I'm the only one at this table who's made the decision about who we should be seeking death penalty against and who we shouldn't. And although this seat starts as a civil seat, these are general jurisdiction judges. They will hear civil and criminal cases. I think it's critically important to the attorneys and to the people who appear before that judge that that judge has the mature experience and the wisdom to be able to make the best decisions possible for the people that are going to appear before him or her. What changes, what are the challenges that I think that need to be made? I think that we have seen what happens when we elect judges who are not equipped for the job. And so the biggest change we need to start to make now is to elect judges who truly have the experience, the maturity, the judgment, and the wisdom to do the best job possible for the people of this community.